Hi everybody, it's Amanda from LHL, and today I want to show you my change of decoration from fall to winter.
I hope you all are so much better than me at this, because I am finally getting around to putting this video together only a week before Christmas, so hopefully you've already done this by the time this video comes out, and I apologize for my tardiness. So I have started with the pumpkins that are spread throughout the house, and I have these tiny little pumpkins that you see me gathering here, and I also have these big pumpkins that I made out of toilet paper. So you unwrap a few layers, twist it around to give it some width in the middle, and then wrap a fat quarter around it and stick some twigs and leaves in the top. So I am finding a problem in that the decorations that I normally use I had to put into this bin, but now, because I'm just going straight to another season, I have to transfer to yet another bin. So these are going to go out of this bin now and into the Christmas bin, so that when I put Christmas away, everything can be available to me. So I try to leave my Christmas tree bin free so that I can travel with gifts, and then still the Christmas decor, the Christmas tree can come down and still have space without all the other decor having to come back as well. And this system has worked fairly well for me for years. I travel during Christmas and end up going to multiple Christmases while I'm away. So having that bin free to not only take my gifts there, but also bring gifts back from has been immensely helpful in the process. So for those of you who are like me and you're always away for Christmas, it's good to get a head start on all this and have it up so you can enjoy it and feel like you've been part of your own Christmas for a while, even though you don't spend your own Christmas at home. You don't spend Christmas Day at home, we should say, right? So now I'm just shuffling the regular decor stuff out to make room for seasonal decor, dumping the leaves and natural products that I collect to decorate with. And oops, I forgot some. They were in the bathroom. This happens quite frequently, but thankfully the tubs usually sit around for a little bit before I take them downstairs. I decorate the outdoors several weeks before I decorate the inside, just because the weather's nicer.
I installed these fairy lights outside because I have no electricity to the outside of my building at all. I went ahead and put these little solar panels up. They have stakes as well, and it has a couple different settings. I wrapped two of them, one around each banister on my entry, and one of them has stopped working. So it worked great for a couple of days, and now it does not turn on at all. I have redirected the solar panel to try to get a little bit more light, since it is unfortunately west facing. Not ideal, but it's made no difference. Something is damaged, I guess, so it's not turning on anymore. However, the other side's been consistent, and it runs until about 11 p.m. and then no more. By 1 a.m. for sure it's dead. So it turns on kind of late, and then it doesn't last terribly long at all. I would say about 3 hours, and that's on the constant setting. So constant light, no twinkles, nothing like that. So that's how it's been working for me outside. Inside it charges off of the lighting, even lamp lighting it does pretty well with, and it's ready to rock and roll. We can show you now. If I turn it on first, you gotta trick it into thinking it's dark, right? A couple of different settings here. Oh, can't even tell it's twinkling, can you? Sort of. Twinkle lights. The slow blink, I guess. Flashing, strobing. Anybody want to have a seizure? Oh, we're not doing that yet. Sorry, this is a constant. Constant light. Now the seizure light. There we go. Freak out. Ah! Back to constant, I think. It does seem like there's one that's oh, this is the slow blink. Whoop. It looks really funny on the screen. Hopefully you're not seeing it that weird, but is the very slow blink. And back to flashing. Yeah, that'll make you sick. And sort of fast twinkles. I think we're back to solid. I'm a little disappointed. As I suspected, outdoors we've got enough cloud cover that it's probably not getting enough charge to hold as long as it quoted that the lights would stay on each night. So it's adequate, but it's not ideal, and I have no idea what's wrong with the one panel, but the wire is not the easiest to work with. So I don't want to unstring it to string a new one. I'm tempted to almost string a new one on top of it, but that'll be a beast to take down. So not sure what we're gonna do there, but my entryway looks pretty dumb right now with one all lit up and nothing on the other. What are you gonna do?
You can see me here using gloves. These are my snow gloves that I use to keep the brushes from, or the branches from scratching me up. On an artificial tree, they're pretty rough. I assume a real tree would be too, but this is a technique I've learned, I don't know, several decades ago, to go ahead and wear gloves to protect your hands. It just makes the job so much easier. I also assembled one layer and then run the lights, and the lights are tied up in 3 bundles, as it's actually how they arrived when I bought them, and it's been great. So 2 bundles need to go on the bottom half, and then 1, and just a little bit more than 1 onto the top half, and so I have kind of a measure then for how far I need to string, you know, how many lights and how much section. And then because they're switch-backed, you know, with the lights on the ends and tied up like that, that actually keeps them in a easy to lay on the layer back and forth. And so I don't really have to wrap them, twine them, whatever. I just lay them and they hook in nice, and it's been great. It makes the job a lot easier.
Also, I've been the worst Amazon affiliate associate, I'm not sure what they're calling it now, ever. So I'm way behind. I just didn't make a plan, basically. Didn't make a plan. Shame on me. But I'm creating a list of all of my favorite organizing products. These are things that I've recommended for clients, things that I've used on client projects, as well as things that I've used on my own projects, which you've seen some of them. Well, or you could see some of them in, check out other room makeovers. I've put a page together with all of my affiliate links for some Christmas ideas, as well as, and primarily focusing around organizational tools. So things that I've used on projects, as well as things that I have recommended to clients to solve particular problems. Yeah, check that out below.
So because I put the top half of the tree in first, which I have to crunch down in order to fit it in this tote, all of the branches are mixed in and around it, and it takes a little while to figure out which one goes where. I've got a couple of rows left before we hit that top piece, and then as we merge the halves of the tree together, I have to stick the branches further upward on this bottom layer and then down from the top one so that it bridges in a little more natural look. So that's what I do before I add the top to the bottom. So the rest of the branches are however they were shoved in the box, and we will get to them after we put the tree in place. And then it's just a matter of trying to make that thing look natural, right? And I can't say that I always succeed, but I definitely aim for symmetry, right? The top piece is a little awkward. You'll see in a moment that I have a bulb type spire, if you will, that goes on the top. That's my tree topper. And I kept it real simple with lights this year. Later I put bulbs on.
I just wanted to explain my decoration style. Recently I went home and my mother was trying to kind of offload some Christmas stuff. And I took some of the stuff that was definitely mine, but I also borrowed some things that were just decorations we used as a family in my household. So I'm gonna show those off a little bit here. Some of them are in other rooms, so I can't show those off. But basically they're wood things. So I have 2 wooden deer. The legs like to fall off and the antlers come off. And they're in the bedroom. They sit on top of the mirror. And then I have a Christmas tree cut out with a heart in the middle, cut out in the kitchen. But in here I have this, I think you can see it here. Yeah, the screen's too little, sorry. So over here, there's a joy that's cut out. And then Santa and his elf over here. And those are all decorations that we used in my childhood home. And I thoroughly enjoy having them around. It makes me feel nostalgic this time of year. And some of them get to stay up much longer. Others are just dedicated to Christmas and they come down right after Christmas. The rest of the things I focused on winter scheme. So we have trees. Some are decorated like Christmas trees and they will come down, but I tend to leave the others that are color or forest looking trees in the snow to give us some Christmas look, some winter joy, right? Winter wonderland. And pretty much stick with like outdoors. I've got little, yeah, there, nope, there, move your finger the other way. I've got a little deer there that were stuffed that I found at Target, and so I fill in with things like that. But in order to do this, I really had to remove a lot from my shelves, and you'll see, you don't get to see where I started from before fall because I took a lot of those things off in fall. I didn't move a lot of things after I took the things out for the fall decorations. I pretty much just replaced the fall decorations with Christmas decorations. And thankfully, to me, this doesn't look too overpowered. It is full, but it is not over full and it isn't disconjointed. And so I like this a lot.
Now you get to see me unload all the things I was just talking about. We've got the bottle brush trees. I picked those up in various places. Fell in love with having the forest feel for winter decor. And I have one fuzzy one at the top already placed. So I had lots of these to put all over the place. And generally I will kind of just guess where to put them to start and move it around as I need to balance the feel across the shelves. So where I'm placing them initially is not where they end up in the video. So here's the deer I was talking about, where they're little wooden deers. Gotta put their legs back on and their antlers back on. And they have bells around their neck. But the standing one is too tall for my shelves in this room, and so I went ahead and moved them into the bedroom where they were last year. I love their little green ribbon around their neck. It's adorable. And those are from my childhood as well. And that was the little wood tree with the cutout heart that you barely see. And then we're getting to the fluffy stuffed deer that I'm putting on the other shelf you can't see until the end. And it's just a little bit of a guesswork. I also swap out a photograph that the photograph was of a corn maze, and so it just is a much more fall appropriate photo. And so I pulled something that I had pulled prior to putting fall decor out and swapped it. Here is the Santa and elves, or elf, I guess, one elf on the ladder, heading up to the chimney from my childhood as well. It's kind of been broken since I was a kid, but just barely. It's a fun piece.
All right, so that was my video, and you can see I have completely switched over for the Christmas and winter season. So some of these items I will remove for after Christmas, such as Santa and his elf over there, which of course I left the water bottle in the way. Also, let's see, no, there's a Christmas tree in a couple of places. I think we've got one with ornaments here. The actual Christmas tree, I remove all those after Christmas and then leave the rest of them as winter decorations. So in March, we'll change over, yeah, March, April, I'll change over to Easter, spring type stuff. I don't really have anything that's Easter, but I'll change over to spring decorations and bring back the ones that I packed into the bins. Thank you very much, and I hope you've had a great time changing over decorations with me. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's.